All right, this is SSL Family Dad with Simple Sustainable Living, and today we are making maple syrup. All right, so if you've seen in the previous video, we've been collecting sap from about 7 trees that we have just around the yard here, so not a huge operation. But we've been able to collect, over 20 gallons of sap so far. I've been keeping it stored in a cooler. I've put it on ice and stuff like that, tried to keep it cool as much as possible. And what I found is really nice is I've been using these water cooler bottles. I found a place in town that sells the used ones for about $7. So these hold 5 gallons. They also have a little plug in the top where you can actually, one of these little stainless steel funnels fits right in there. And so I can take this around and collect sap and bring it back and dump it in the cooler. Next year I plan on buying maybe like $100 worth of these, and I'll use these to put right around at the bottom of the trees and just feed my tubes right into. So these will be good collection. I may have to paint them, keep the light out, but. So we're ready to start boiling. We're gonna have some cold weather here coming up, and the sap won't be running anymore, and I can't keep the sap. You don't wanna save it for longer than a week or so before it starts getting cloudy and going bad. So I've got a wood stove set up here, and I'm gonna see what we can do to get this stuff boiled down. All right, so what do we have here? Well, I've got the little cast iron stove, and I found this, what do you call these steaming pans that I've had forever, and I was actually using it in the garage to store tools and screws and things. But this is going to give us a little more surface area, so I think this is going to work a lot better. And I've actually been boiling I've boiled for a few hours yesterday and then a few hours today, or trying to boil. But unfortunately, for some reason, even though you'd think that this cast iron, it's definitely getting hot at the top, and the fire is just raging in there. I mean, it's burning great, but it will not bring this to a boil. It's steaming, and I've been able to run a few gallons through it, but not anywhere near what I need to. So I'm gonna make some adjustments here, and I think what's happening is the draft on this thing is so great that it's pulling the heat out really quickly. And you can tell if you look in there, I mean, the flames never even touch the roof of this thing. So I'm gonna try to make a few adjustments and see if I can get I'm gonna close off the smokestack and see if I can lift this tray up a little bit, create a gap underneath it, and there's 2 burners that come out, and I can maybe draft the fire right up underneath this pan and really get this thing to roll. Well, I think this is going to be the final solution here. I took the smokestack off and put a brick over it so that there's no draft coming out of the back pipe there. And I put those washers and nuts underneath here just to leave a gap so that those 2 burners I took out, so the smoke and basically all the heat's going to come up right underneath this pan and hopefully flames. And it's been working. It still isn't boiling. I haven't had it running that long. probably about 20 minutes with it in this configuration. But it's definitely about twice as hot already, I can tell, as it was in the other configuration. All that heat was just getting sucked right up the chimney stack. So I think this is going to work a lot better. I'll keep you guys along. I've got another 15 gallons of sap to put in here, so it's going to run probably all day today, and I'm assuming overnight, and we'll see what happens. For collecting the sap, it's been cold here, luckily. I would bring it back into the garage here, and then I've just been putting it in the cooler, and I can see it's already starting to turn cloudy, so I've probably already, it's probably already starting to go bad. This boiling operation has taken a lot longer than I'd hoped to get started, but we'll do what we can. This is all kind of a test this year. We'll see how things turn out. So, but I put it in this cooler, and I've had ice in here. This has been here for a week, filled, and then I've filled up this as well, and then the other pans and pots. So now I can just carry this sucker right out by the fire and just keep adding it in as we go. I may try to boil that stuff first, though. I'm not sure. Well, we're still cooking. So it's been running for about 9 hours today. I got started late in the day, actually, getting this going. So I have put 2 full pots on what was already there, and there's enough space in here for me to probably put a half of another pot full in there. So I don't know how much I've evaporated through, probably only 10 gallons, maybe 8. So I've got still another 10 gallons to evaporate through. So, but we'll just let it run all day tomorrow. This has been working out really well, though. It still isn't boiling. I just don't even understand it. The flame is directly on the bottom of this thing, and it still just isn't boiling, but it's steaming off pretty good. So, but it's been burning a lot slower, so it'll actually run overnight, and we'll just let it evaporate off. So we'll check in tomorrow, and hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow we'll have this boiled down enough where I can take it inside and finish it off on the stove. All right, day 2. So I've been gone all day, so I filled this up this morning when we left, about 9 in the morning. It's about 3 in the afternoon now, and it's, you know, just evaporated down whatever, a couple inches out of here, which is actually quite a few gallons of sap. But it's starting to turn amber a little bit, and so I know we're getting close to that stage where I could probably take this batch in and finish it off inside. For the rest of the season, I may build a different evaporator. I've got an idea for a little cinder block one, so I'll probably do a separate video on that. But so far this is working pretty good. So I'll bring this in later tonight when I get back home, be gone for the evening, come back in later, and I will take what we have, take it inside, and we'll see how much actual syrup we've got so far. All right, so I've brought it in here and put it in this pot on the stove. I brought in all the sap that I had on the wood stove there that had boiled down, and also about another 5 gallons of sap that I had collected. I put in here as well, and just kept boiling it down. And it's been, you know, just kind of sitting on the stove for the majority of the afternoon here and morning. And this is what it has boiled down to. So I'm getting pretty close to being finished here, I think. I got this thermometer. It's a candy thermometer. I bought that on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for that. It's a pretty nice little stainless steel one. I bought it just for this purpose, for doing the syrup. And the idea is that once it gets about 7 degrees above boiling, so in my case about 220 degrees, then it's supposed to have the right sugar content. You know, you've gotten rid of enough of the water. So as the sugar content gets greater in the liquid here, the boiling point rises a little bit. So the temperature gets, you know, is able to climb up a little bit. So we'll let this finish up here and see what we end up with. All right, I wasn't paying attention to it, and all of a sudden it started foaming up all kinds of crazy. So it reached up to 220 degrees, and boiled all down, and that's what we're left with. I don't know exactly how much it is yet, so I'm going to get it poured into some jars. But it's very dark. It's a lot darker than I thought. And unfortunately, because of the way we boiled it over that smoky fire, it has a smoky flavor to it. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. All right, well, there you have it. We got about 6 of these, I think these are little half pints of maple syrup, and man, is this stuff good. It is sugary and it's just awesome. And it's cool to, anything that you grow yourself, anything that you produce yourself or make yourself is always better than something that you could buy. This has a very different flavor than anything that we've bought, you know, natural maple syrup from even here in Michigan, and I just love it. It also, from what I've heard, you know, that the flavors are going to change throughout the season here as the season progresses. So different batches are going to have different flavors, and it's just great. I love being able to produce things from our own property here, and especially stuff like this. That's awesome. So we love syrup here. We love breakfast foods, and so this will be a nice thing to have. So we've got honey. We've got our syrup here now. So we've got a couple sugar producers here on the SSL family farm. And so this next year I'll be tapping over 50 trees, maybe even close to 100 if I can ask permission from the neighbor. We've got a lot of maples here, so it's going to be pretty cool. So next year we got a big operation coming. But if you guys have questions about the process or comments, please throw them down below. Hit thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing this. This is my first full year, you know, time going through this whole process, and I had a lot of fun with it. So I'd love to hear your feedback. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.